channel, House Style 99. I'm getting ready to get started. Now, I did do some research and I did look at my laptop and I did a little bit of, using AL. So I'm letting y'all know, of course, because not only because I'm new to this, but also because I need some help with, getting some of this stuff out. Now, the reason why I started the, um, I said I wasn't doing any more styles. Then what had happened was I was looking at some stuff and I saw some videos and I seen some things that were um like we people are starting to shop local and slacking off a little bit from buying online. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to discourage anybody from buying online. If you like buying online, I don't want to be the one that everybody said, well, she the reason why. I am not the reason why. They was already fighting with the online. Um, Let me make sure I got that. Make sure everything's good. I don't want them to think that I'm the reason why people stop shopping online. A lot of people had already stopped shopping online, and I decided to stop shopping online mainly because the items that I received are not worth the price. The items that I received are damaged. A lot of the items are extremely damaged, foul smells, and it really seemed really weird to me when I did a what is it a review on Shein, and on the review it said um, it asked me, did my items smell like, how do they smell? So that was one of the questions in the review on Shein, and I thought that was kind of strange because most companies not going to ask you how did your clothes smell. So I took that as they were intentionally, or maybe somebody else told them that their clothes smelled foul. So the clothes that I received, I just hand washed them again. I bought these clothes a couple months ago, and the clothes smell terrible. Okay, they smell really really bad. I soaked them in some Tide and let them soak for a while and let the detergent and stuff get into them, right? The smells, because it smelled really bad. It smelled like poop, like it had been sitting in the toilet. And I thought it was strange that she had asked why how did the clothes smell. So however, the clothes smelled really foul. Some of the stuff came damaged. I got a pair of shoes, a pair of silver sandals that I bought from Shein. They were damaged, and I had that in another video, so I'm not going to get in deep detail about that. But this video is supposed to be about autumn to come. Everybody say, well, autumn is a long way from now. We got a while to go before summer is over. Well, I went to the stores. I went shopping a little bit, and in the stores, autumn is in the stores. Autumn is there, so that means it's time for us. If we're going shopping, if we're doing early shopping, whether it's online or going to your local store, your favorite store that's local, it is time to go shopping. If you're going to go shopping. Now, I hate this cliche of budget, being on a budget, right? And I know everybody need to be on a budget. And one of the main reasons why we talk about in our community, because this is actually for everybody, but it's also for brown women of different shades. Okay, so in our community, there's a young lady that was on that I followed, and lady, I forgot her name. I had to look her up. But however, she talked about hair products, and she do styles also. She's a very classy lady, and a lot of it is hi. A lot of her stuff is very classy, but she has really long hair. But however, I've seen a video of her just recently, just yesterday. But this is not the first time that I saw videos about brown skinned people spending a lot of money online and shopping. How much money, how long money stay in brown people's pockets, and what we do with our money, right? So that's why we always talk about being on a budget. All right, now that's why we always talk about being on a budget. That's why we always um, try not to sell things that are overpriced, right? Because we want to cater to people that not our, because there are less fortunate people come in all races. But because we are brown, and of course, we're going to try to get our community together. And this is my way of contributing to the community. Now, what I was trying to lean off of styles and talking about clothes, but I decided that I wanted to do this because it was just irking at me, to be honest. It was really just irking at me to do the live, and I'm not doing styles like I said. This is not a paid promotion. I am not getting paid for this. This is like a trial error, basically. So I am trying to get other people to come and join. I am not supposed to actually start until 5:30, but I am starting early because I want to. I just wanted to be here for a minute. I did schedule this at 5:30, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about why I am doing this live. And hopefully some people join. I will appreciate it for the people that's watching. I don't really see any names or any real pictures, but if you are watching and you think this would be something that somebody else want to see, share the live. But I'm not going to actually start until it is really early. But anyway, soft power autumn 2025 style for the gentle yet bold women. In a world that demands sharp edges and fast moves, the soft era woman chooses grace. She leads with warm dresses with intention and cultivates beauty that nourishes, not just impresses. Autumn 2025 invites her to wrap herself in a palette that whispers strength and serenity. Okay, so this small statement is a bold statement to say. It doesn't only direct to women of my color, but it also is all the way around. Now, a lot of people are not that into style or into fashion, and that was one of the reasons why I kind of back down, because you have content creators that which has a group of content creators that they actually, it has gotten to the point where content creators are buying from content creators. So the money is circling within the content creators. People on the outside are not really grasping in on to the content creators. And I'm going to say why. Because content creators have, well, I noticed, okay, content creators have gotten to the point where there is a status of I'm famous, okay? And this is not really trying to degrade or make anyone feel bad, but it is content creators. When I started, I felt like, hey, I don't want to buy Louis Vuitton and expensive clothes, and Although you know, I'm very careful about how I handle those type of things, but that is a rich person's item. You know, it's no way I'm gonna pay $4,000 for a bag, and some people can. You know, but me knowing that I will never be able to buy a Louis Vuitton bag. Well, that's not true. I could have bought a Louis Vuitton bag several times, but that is not something that is in my budget. Or even if it was in my budget, I still would not spend that amount of money on a bag. But to each his own. Everybody their own preference on how they want to spend their money, right? So I don't trying to I don't think that we should change so much where we are stepping out of the range of being um, unable to talk about things that people can afford. And I noticed the change. I noticed that a lot of people have come down. A lot of content creators have come down a little bit, stepped down a little bit from what they were doing when I first came on. And not saying that I controlled that, but just saying that you cannot, if you're really trying to make money, or you want to be with the stars, you have to make a decision whether you're going to give back to the regular people, not famous people. You know, if that's what you want to do, if you really want to make money, because we are the ones that spend the money. You know, rich people don't spend rich. They buy, they may take their money and buy things like that. But once again, I said this in the previous video, so I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself. People with money, if they want something that expensive, they're going to go to the store where is the name brand of the store and buy it. They're not going to order it offline. Okay, if you get what I'm saying. So a lot of people say, well, we tried, we was unsuccessful. That's because a lot of times this is entertainment. A lot of times this is just fun. You know, this is just, you know, influencing, just what it is, and not just for money. You know, to make money on. When I first came on to social media, it was fun. You know, and you would see the little commercials and stuff going across and blah blah blah. And I put my little touch in and selling things. But I don't want to discourage anybody or anyone from purchasing online. I don't want to be the one. So anyway, moving forward, in a world that often demands sharp edges and fast moves, the soft air woman chooses grace. Meaning, we that touches on what I said about heterosexuals and lesbians. You have soft, gentle lesbians also. But what we need to understand is that soft power is women that is soft, as women should be. We are graceful in the things that we do. We are not causing conflict. If there's conflict caused, it's because of somebody else's issues or whatever they're going through. We are looking for, as women, we are looking for things that are sharp. And we are looking things that are but soft, not so you know, we went through our phase with the thick sole boots, and I don't think I have a pair. I think I got rid of my boots with the edgy boots with the cleats on them, and you know, going through that gothic boot stage. Well, when I was young, and we used to wear the boots with the big heels, the combat boots is what we call them, with our ponytails and our shorts and our cut off shirts. We used to wear that stuff too. So it repeats itself. But then you get to some women get to the point, or some women are kind of tired of having that hard body. That we gotta be a hard body. You know, we are soft. We are gentle. We are very nurturing people. And some of us want to display that. It's very hard to display it because the world that we're fighting right now is, you know, and as a heterosexual woman, and even soft power women that are not, that are lesbians, we're not functioning out here. Um, we are being forced behind the doors. Um, you know, but at this point right now, we want our soft clothes. You know, we want our things that are ladylike. You know, we don't want to wear combat boots anymore. We don't want to wear the big gothic boots that's trending. And some of us still want to be on social media, but we don't want to wear those things. We want what we want, like soft era things. Okay, so autumn is coming, and there are things in the store, and I saw some beautiful items where I was. I'm not going to say their name because they don't do collaboration, um, but it is one of my favorite stores that I newly found since I've been here. I don't believe I've ever heard of this store until I came here, but I've seen the store. I believe I've seen the store before I came here, but I never paid attention to it. I just kept going. And one day I was in, I think Ross's, and it was crowded. It was really crowded in Ross's, and I decided, and I seen this store across in the same shopping center, but it was a little way, and the parking lot was empty. Okay, the parking lot was completely empty on that side. So I was like, "Is this store open?" So I walked over to the store. Actually drove at that time, so I had my car. I drove over to the store, and I went inside, and they had some of the most beautiful items um, available, and they were very classy and soft. The items were soft, and that's what it mean by soft power. And 2025, autumn 2025 style. I want our soft ladies to come on out. We don't have to be so bold and so bulky, and we got our, you know, our army green coats on. There is another way to style army green. There are several ways to style army green, or certain colors in our wardrobe. This year we this year I am suggesting. I am going to suggest. Hold on, y'all. Gotta move my screen. Um, Hold on, 'cause I gotta make sure I'm reading this thing right. Sometimes these screens be doing something else. So I am going to say some colors, right? And this is going to be a replay. I'm going to say some colors. Now, for this is for our people. This is for guys. This is for guys. This is for women. This is for all people. And when I say all people, I mean people that, you know, we're not famous. We're regular people. Doesn't matter what color you are. And I want to start with, I want to name some colors, and I want you all to, okay, I want to make sure I'm reading the right thing. Because, of course, I had to do some research. This stuff not going to come off the top of my head. So, so I have a palette. Now, my background on this, the green screen in the background, I don't, for some reason, I don't know if y'all can see it on full view, but on my telephone, I have a small phone, and I couldn't fit the whole background inside of the screen on my telephone. But welcome for those that I see that's up there. Welcome, thank you for joining. Um, so these hues are more than seasonal; they're emotional. I am getting ready to go into. In a world of often man sharp and fast moves, the soft era woman chooses grace. She leads with warmth, dresses with intention, and cultivates beauty that nourishes, just not just impresses. Autumn 2025 invites her to wrap herself in a palette that whispers strength and serenity. Clay Brown, Clay Brown, y'all know what Clay Brown is, right? Clay Brown is actually in the background. If you, the one with the feathers sticking out of it, the sage color and the peach color, that actual, this right here is actually Clay Brown. Okay, then because y'all, most people know what the color of clay is. And then we got squash orange. Now it's the young lady in the background that has squash orange on. If you can see the background, I did have some palettes. Now actually, squash can come in very different, several different colors, right? One of several different shades of orange. Squash orange can come in dark orange. Squash orange can come in like a pale type of orange. So there's very different shades, several different shades of squash orange, right? It's up to you to decide when you in the stores and you are actually looking when you are shopping. Then we're gonna go with soft peach. Soft peach. I picked soft peach because it leans more towards the warmer climate. Like when I was doing this research and I was reading through the AL, I actually using my new laptop, and it has Copilot on it, and I'm excited about it, right? But I know people don't like it. It seems kind of boring when you read, but I put in the words, and I put in the colors, and it gave me some suggestions. But most of it is things that, of course, that you're already thinking. So it's clay brown, squash orange, and then soft pink. Soft pink, I chose soft pink as a color for women that live in a warmer climate. When it gets cold, when autumn comes, and it's still warm. Los Angeles, California, those climates, Florida, where it doesn't get really too cold. So I picked like a soft peach. I think soft peach is a beautiful color to wear in the fall. And then we have plum red. Plum red is like we have different shades, but plum red is like a deep, deep purple. And then we have mustard yellow. Now, it's up to you to decide mustard yellow. Mustard yellow can be bright, but I like Grey Poupon. So I'd rather have Grey Poupon than mustard, all right? And then sometimes it depends on the brand that you buy. You can buy different brands of mustard, so it comes in different colors. So it's up to you to decide what you want, what you would think mustard is. Now, when you go into the stores, you have several different colors. Now, it's really weird because I know a lot of people don't notice this. You go in the grocery store and you see all of the fall and winter vegetables coming in, right? See all that stuff coming in. And then you go to a clothes store, and all those beautiful colors that you see in the grocery store, the pears, the peaches, the grapes, the plums, the squashes, the different color squashes. And if you decide to go to like to one of those pumpkin patches or a market like a farmer's market, and they have things that you won't see in the grocery store, you're going to see amazing colors, like amazing colors and different blues. I didn't know squash come in blues. You have squash that comes in different colors of green and orange and yellow and like creamy color and beige colors. I never knew the squash come in so many different colors. Now I know it's a little time before they're gonna set that stuff out because it's only August. But when I hear August, because I am who I am, when I hear August, I automatically think, fall ready to come, right? So I get to thinking about, it's getting ready to get cold. Do I have a coat? Do I have shoes? Now, mainly my mind is set like that because I have children, because school open, and then we get programmed. I raised 3 children, right? And we get programmed to think August, school, books, pencils. It's programmed in me because when I'm in the school in the store, and I'm automatically thinking, even with my grandchildren, right? Their parents don't have to ask me. The first thing that pop in my mind is, oh my goodness, it's school time. I wonder if I need to get the kids. It's just like that. It's just an automatic thing. That is one of those soft power things, right? So then we go in the stores and we see all these different vegetables. And if you go to a farmer's market, and I'm sure a lot of us as adults have seen some farmer's markets, and it's some beautiful colors out there. And then you go to your local store or your favorite store. Now, I don't know if your favorite store carry the things that I like to see. Everybody is different. But you go to your local store and you see all these beautiful colors in the stores and the clothes. And then every year, we are wearing the same stuff. We are wearing. So I don't see too many soft peach. I don't see too many clay browns. Now, clay brown, you can kind of confuse clay brown with khaki color, right? But there's a special grain of, like what I have on could possibly be like a clay brown, but it's slightly darker. It's slightly darker, a darker type of brown, and it's called clay brown. We all know what clay look like, right? Then sage. Sage is another color. The leaves, the feathers that's in the background, that's an example of sage. And the other feather, that's an example of a soft peach or peach color. These 2 colors are 2 beautiful colors in the pottery right there. Those are beautiful colors for hot climates during autumn and winter time. Right? Because I know a lot of ladies, you're talking about wool and deep hair. It's hot here. We not wearing that stuff. Okay, so that's okay. As a content creator, as a person growing, we learn different things, and we do cater to where we are. When I was doing styles, I was catering to where I lived, the area, the climate that I was in. So, I did start to think about that as time went on. So that is some good advice and some very good constructive criticism. So therefore, I picked these colors for a warmer climate. Now, even when it gets cold, it's still beautiful to wear when it's cold outside. If you are in a colder climate, you can buy things that are made of a thicker material. And these colors, these are beautiful colors that we don't usually wear in the winter time, but I think they're very beautiful. And they are beautiful for office wear when you go to the office. So I think these are beautiful fall colors. It reminds you of the sage. Gives you a sense of tea and herbs, and the peach is really soft. It really gives you a soft feeling, right? So that's what that's called. That's the soft power in this, right? So then it's what else? The other color I have, like a pale pink. A pale pink, I would say is something like this. Now, when I did this, I used a app that I typed in these colors, and I think this is a color that we will call a pale pink, and that's very pretty and that's very soft. And this is the clay brown. Very, it's a beautiful color for the fall. And then here's your peach. Let me make sure that I'm saying this right. This is the peach. This is the soft pink. This is the peach, and this is the sage. Okay, and it's very, very beautiful. The background is, the background. It depends. That could be a. Let me read on, because I'm sure I probably put it in here. That's a brown, of course. And then we have the dusty green. That can be a dusty green, or that can be sage. Either or. Dusty green is going to be a little bit more faded. Sage is going to have a little bit of darkness to it, slightly darkness to it, but with some little tones of tan in it, right? That's going to be sage. And then the earthy green, that's like a darker green. Earthy green is of course is a darker green. I couldn't fit everything on the screen, y'all. We just wouldn't go on there and would do it for me. So then these hues are more than seasonal. They're emotional. They speak to the women who finds power and softness, who dresses to feel, not just to be seen. Okay. The palette, the earth tones, elegance meets feminine fire. Let's explore how each color becomes a mood, a message, and a moment. Clay brown. The mood for clay brown, grounded, wise. A clay brown knit midi. Now again, like I said, now this let's say the background of this, we can, it depends on your thinking, right? Clay brown. Clay brown could possibly be the wall in the background. A darker clay. But then I really see this one as a clay. I'm trying to think. I haven't been around clay since, oh my goodness, since I was a teenager. And they actually have places where you can go and make vases, and it's like a soothe and relax. We're going to talk about that later on. But anyway, clay brown, I would say, would be this color. It's grounded, wise. A clay brown knit midi dress layered with a pale pink shawl evokes quiet confidence. A squash orange. Now the orange, I cannot see it. I don't know if you all can see it in your screen. I had to reset some of my devices, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see it in your screen, but I can't see it. In the screen, there are, it is some orange in the screen. So I don't know how to, I really don't know how to change that, or even, they have not mastered being able to resize the green screen. I would love to be able to resize it, but it won't let me. Let me see if I have a different vision of a picture for the squash orange. I did make some things on Canva last night, and some poetry challenge. And okay, let's use this one. Let's see. These you see these flowers in the background? You see how they're not so bright, right? I would call that a squash orange. That's my opinion of squash orange. Joyful, radiant for the fall season. Try a squash orange silk blouse tucked into a dusty green trousers. Sunset meets forest. Right? That's cute. Doesn't that sound cute? Um, now let me go out on a limb because I'm letting y'all know how I'm doing on this journey. Because I don't want to sound like I'm being famous. I just want y'all to know I did some research and I did some typing, and it helps me put it in words. But it said it trying to give me like a script, and in the script it'll say, find pull out of your wardrobe a orange silk blouse, squash orange silk blouse, and then um, it'll say, and a pair of dusty green trousers, and I'm like, I don't have a squash orange silk blouse. I don't have a dusty green layers. I don't have a dusty green pair of trousers, right? Um, Sunset meets forest. But that's really pretty if you think about it. Try a squash orange silk blouse. Now, the problem I am having, I want to talk on that. The problem I'm having with the blouses, I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing anything that catching my eye, even in the stores. And if it does, it's like overpriced. If it does, if it does catch my eye, it's a little overpriced for me, or out of my range. I don't want to go in the store uh, and buy a blouse because I don't go out a lot. Now, if I was working and I was working in the office, that's different. That's like buying your uniform, literally. But if by me being at home the way that I am right now, I would not purchase a blouse for $40 because it's going to sit in my closet for a while, and it even sat there, and I have not worn it anywhere because I'm not going anywhere. So that being said, just picture in your mind, or you may have a lot of ladies shop, a lot of ladies work in an office or a casual business casual setting where they buy these things, and I really think this is two beautiful colors to put together, and that is the squash orange silk blouse tucked in a pair of dress pants. I call them dress pants. Trousers, it drives me crazy. That word makes me think of, not saying anything bad about them, elderly man pants. That's what trousers sound like to me, like in the 60s and the 70s when they say trousers. So trousers is really, really kind of complicated for me. That was not said in my era. My era, it was dress pants. Okay, a pair of women dress pants, and the squash orange silk blouse tucked in or out, depending on the cut of the bottom of the blouse. Sometimes the blouse is cut, has some kind of detail at the bottom of it, or it's cut with, it may not have like embroidered or what I want to say, frilly detail or any kind of detail that's sitting off of the blouse, if that makes sense to y'all. It can have like a clean cut, but a detailed clean cut at the bottom of the blouse. That is also okay to wear outside of your pants, your dress pants. We are not stuck in the era where we are wearing our pants pull up around under our breasts with our pants tucked in. We are not doing that. We are not working at McDonald's. If you're working McDonald's, that's different. Make sure you tuck your shirt in and you look professional the way they tell you to. But when you are in a business setting or casual business setting, you work in a clothes store, you're supposed to dress how when you work in a clothes store, you're not supposed to come in there looking all dusty and dirty working in the clothes store for them people. But that's another subject. But anyway, we are not gonna cater to our clothes being stuffed in our pants all the time. So I think that's enough about that. Soft peach, tender. It gives the mood of tender and luminous. A soft peach trench over a sage slip dress creates a dreamy layered silhouette. Doesn't that sound like right? Doesn't that sound like for the fall? Like, yeah, date night. Especially, like I said, when you are in a warmer climate. Okay, when you are in a warmer climate, let's wean off of the bright oranges and the khaki and the navy blue and the same old, the burgundy and the same old stuff over and over again. Let's go out on a limb and let's show some of our soft girl era this year, right? Let's still be feminine in the fall time, and you know, let's do our thing. For those ladies that's going to shop. Me, I'm not going to shop. I actually already did a little bit of shopping, just a little bit on the sale rack though, because the store I go to have stuff on the sale rack, and it can be from all seasons. It doesn't just have the end of the season sale. It has all seasons on the rack. And you know, every time I really fall in love with a certain place or something, you know what happens? They close it. They close it. It end up closing, or they discontinue it. So if my favorite store closes, I'm really going to be disappointed, because I did read at one point they were going to close. But they need to actually look into grabbing a few influences. They don't have, and they do have plus sizes, and they do have women's sizes. Their sizes are very comfortable. They are you know, for curvy women, for shapely women with hips. The waist is always great. I love this store. And like I said, I did do a little bit of shopping. And excuse me, and these came from my favorite store, but I don't want I got my stuff off the sale rack, seriously. I mean, you know, but they are actually autumn items, and they bring in things kind of fast there. But however, if they were doing the influencer, or I would actually influence for this particular store, but they don't, so I am not going to call out their name. What else? Plum red, passionate, poetic, a plum red velvet wrap skirt paired with a clay brown turtleneck feels romantic and rooted. Okay, now a lot of ladies, this is for our winter ladies. When we go out on a date, did I say date? Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure. Romantic and rooted. I like turtlenecks, but I am accustomed to the turtlenecks because the climate that I come from can be below zero. So we will wear a turtleneck, and it can be romantic. Because it could be below zero outside and we going out somewhere. So so just for the warmer climate say, oh, that's tacky, ain't nobody wearing no turtleneck no more. Okay, so we all that hard body stuff. We talking about soft girl era, soft woman era, our soft gentle women. You gotta be gentle. Got to be gentle with us, right? So a turtleneck feels romantic and rooted. A plum velvet wrap skirt that really sounds cute, and then you can top that off with a shortcut blazer. Now that is a personal preference of mine. That's me as far as a blazer. I do not believe in the grandpa jackets. I do not. That is just me. And I'm entitled to that, just like as the person is entitled to wear what they wear. I do not like the grandpa blazer. I do not like to see women wear a blazer below their hips unless it gives a silhouette of a maxi skirt, if you get what I'm saying. It has to be a form fitting. If it's going to, I mean, I didn't say squeezing your brains out. I said form fitting to a maxi skirt, and this is winter time. To a maxi skirt, it could be a double leg maxi skirt. It could be, any type of maxi skirt. And this one says a wrap skirt. Now, me, once again, I suggest if you in a colder climate, if you're gonna wear a turtleneck, a maxi skirt would be the best advice. A maxi skirt or at least below the knees, and some high boots or whatever. We don't want to show any legs. We talking about our soft girl era, okay? We don't want the skirt below the knees. We want the skirt below the knees, and we want the boots, right? If you're gonna wear a maxi skirt, of course you don't have to worry about a pair of knee high boots. But if you're going to go right below the knees, we want to do knee high boots. We want to make sure we're going to make sure our legs are covered. And what would go great with that would be, it's a plum red velvet wrap skirt paired with a clay brown turtleneck. Feels romantic and rooted. Let's say we can add, if we want to be colorful, don't want to look like a autumn rainbow. We want to match our stuff now a little bit. We don't want to go all, we don't want to look crazy, but we want to add a nice hipster, if you're being romantic, a nice hipster blazer or jacket. I am not a denim jacket girl. I am not. I don't do denim jackets. I'm not a fan. I think what happened with the denim thing is when we were growing up, I am 54 years old. I'm getting ready to turn 55 next month. I'm so irritated because I'm not, for another year, I'm not going to be able to go anywhere. But anyway, the hipster blazers or the detail blazers, there's several blazers. You just have to look. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you might have to pay a little price. Because you might have to make your way to Macy's or the other stores. Macy's is stuck in my head. Dillard's, to me they all the same store with different names. To be honest, the hipsters, and go in there on their coupon day. For those that still use the coupon on Macy's, and go on there and say this day you can get 20% off and blah blah blah, or use your credit card or whatever, blah blah blah. Just go in there when they have one of them sales and find yourself one of those short, because they definitely have it. I don't know about the local stores, but if you go in one of the department stores, you will find yourself a soft era blazer. Okay, and that's how I feel about that. And that would be really cute with that, with a wrap skirt. If it's gonna be romantic and rooted, plum red velvet. That's really pretty. That sounds really cute. As far as the color, that's something. If you decide to go get you a nice blazer to go with that, or a nice little jacket to go with that, let's keep it soft, and make sure you take your velvet skirt in there with you. It can be two different types of plum red, or same color plum red but two different materials, if you get what I'm saying. And then the clay brown, or you might get in there and find something that might pop it off, something totally different with the two colors inside of the jacket or the blazer, if you are being romantic and it's 0 degrees outside. That's for our cold climate ladies. I'm not gonna forget about y'all, because I hear her fussing. So then mustard yellow, bold, nostalgic. Add a mustard yellow beret or crossbody bag to elevate neutral outfits with a pop of warmth. That sounds pretty great. That sounds it's actually saying now I picked out the mustard yellow, and like I said, it's bold. Mustard yellow is bold, But I'm picturing a darker, I'm not really picturing the bright mustard yellow. I'm picturing a darker brand. We're not talking about, what's that brand? I can't say the brand, but that yellow one that you buy and it's always on the cookout table. Okay, so I'm not talking about that mustard. I'm talking about a darker mustard that you usually, it's not going to be that famous brand that we've used since we were little children. It may be something that's a little different brand. I'm not going to say off brand, but a different brand. And it has a little darker tone to it. I don't really think canary yellow, uh, but you know, butter yellow, soft yellow. I still when they say butter yellow, and I've seen the butter yellow that people talk about, I don't think that's butter yellow. I think that's like a soft yellow. Butter yellow is really pale. Hold on, let me show y'all what I mean real quick. I gotta grab something. I'm supposed to have all this stuff sitting beside me, and it's not even. Is it 5:30 yet? It's 1 minute towards 5:30. So if you are watching and you haven't clicked on the screen to let me know you're watching, hold on a second because you're getting a treat. I was up this morning spraying Lysol. I don't know what happened, if the trash outside overflowed or something happened. I don't know, but let me tell you, uh, it is funky out there. Um, okay. So back to what I was saying, the butter yellow. Now I am having a problem with the butter yellow because I have a stick of butter in my refrigerator, right? And hold on, let me drop this down just a little bit more. Let me see. Okay, so I have some sticks of butter in my refrigerator. And I am going to say that I do not see the butter yellow that I see people are wearing. It looks more like a soft yellow. Butter yellow is really, really pale. So this to me is like a soft yellow. This is brighter than it's showing on the screen. Uh, But I guess this on this blouse on this top, this is actually brighter than what it is on the screen. But if you put it on the screen, it will look like a little bit of butter yellow. But when I'm looking at it right here, it's much brighter. Okay. So, however, the butter yellow was trending. I actually went and bought me two soft yellow tops. Um, I think I got it at Walmart. Some t-shirts for like you know how they do their t-shirts, like $3.50. So I did go grab me some comfortable t-shirts to wear around the house from Walmart. And then, um, so what I was saying about the yellow, the mustard yellow, a beret. I'm gonna be honest. That I didn't pick that. A crossbody bag, maybe, yeah. Um, mustard yellow is bold, and it's given this one. It gave a suggestion for that, so that would really be pretty. It'll make a neutral color outfit with the pop of warmth. So that is really a good idea. So that's another color that I picked. I already mentioned sage. Sage, calm, intuitive. Sage wide leg pants with a soft peach blouse, perfect for creative work days or cozy evenings. That sounds good, don't it? Ooh, that sounds good. All right, so let me hurry up and get through these colors. Now, I have really planned to do this for 30 minutes. 30 minutes is not long enough, right? So I'm at this point. If you pass the screen and you get here, and it's you really don't want to hear it, or it's just too long, just pause it and click the watch later button, and then come back and watch the rest of it. If you have a YouTube account, you can just subscribe, click the watch later, and because I fall asleep watching good stuff. Uh, click the watch later on your YouTube profile. All you gotta do is click. I think it's you click on. Um, However, you can find it, y'all, because I can't. I don't have all these devices in front of me right now, and I don't want to mess things up while I'm looking at it. But you can find it. Um, Pale pink, gentle, graceful. Let me put that back. Pale pink, gentle, graceful. A pale pink cashmere cardigan over a plum red dress. Softens the drama with elegance. That sounds good, don't it? That sounds really cute. That's different, right? Dusty. That's this for my soft girls. Um, Dusty green, reflective serene. Dusty green corduroy overalls layered with a squash orange tee, playful and poetic. All right. Um, I did a poem last night, and I'm gonna. So if you watch later, or if you're still watching, that poem is going to be included in this part of the session. I might just um, close out in a few minutes and start a new live video, just so it'll be able to be replayed by people, and not 2 and 3 hours long, right? Even though you can come back and you can watch it, and you can come back and restart it if you are interested in listening to it. And I know everybody says too early. No, it's not. If I go in the store and I see all these colors that's ready for the fall on the rack, it's not too early. It's just that if you on a budget, don't go in there yet. If you want a budget, and or if you want a budget, if you say, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give me one outfit. I'm gonna go ahead and give me one cute outfit, one real. But if y'all know how hard it is to go in the store and pick one outfit, that is, unless we like in a hurry and we get ready to go somewhere and we need to find something to wear real quick to wherever we're going. But to actually go in the store leisurely, and because women don't window shop. I don't window shop. I don't know if any other way. I do not window shop. I do not go in the store if I don't have any money to buy anything. So this is for the people that follow me around in the store when I come to the store to see if I'm gonna buy something. Or sometimes they do it out of common courtesy to make sure you don't need some help. Let's give them the credit for that, because they do train them to do that. Watch when you see people in the store for a little while. They might be having a hard time finding what they need. Okay, let me put y'all on point about that. They might be having, for those that didn't listen to the orientation, they might be in the store watching a little long, because, I mean, not long, but watching sometimes Not all the time. Sometimes they really do be watching to see if you can steal something. And it's very uncomfortable. But if you're in the store for a long time, sometimes they'll come up to you, and they'll be near you or keep an eye on you because you may be looking for something. Some customers come in and be looking for something in particular and overlook it and will walk past it 10 times. So it is their job as a salesperson to come up to you and say, hey, can I help you? Can I help you find what you need? And some people get offended and say, no, I don't need, I'm good. But sometimes you got to have that soft girl era, be in that soft tone, be in that soft girl, soft woman vibe and say, no, or if you think like I think, yes, I am looking for something. I need to find this. Can you help me? And they either tell you right off the top, we don't have that, and you done been in the store for 2 hours looking through stuff. But however, the moral of the story is just you know, those things are in the store. Um, the autumn clothes are there. And then let me move on because I'm kind of babbling, but I want to keep y'all interested, okay? So the earthy green, resilient, nurturing, earthy green wool coat over and mustard knit set, like walking through a forest in motion. That is definitely a colder climate. Those are colder climate colors. I don't really do earthy colors unless it's very light earthy colors. Um, in the summertime, I do soft colors in the summertime, or a little, not too bright, but kind of bright. And like this is to me is a um it's like a mint green. So this is like a I don't want to say mint green. Uh, because mint green is actually dark. If you go to the store and you buy uh, mint, natural colored mint, it is very dark. It is very dark. It is actually mint green. I don't understand why people use mint green. When I started really looking into different colors, and I'm like, why did they call that mint green? That wasn't mint green. So this right here is you can say it's a army green. It's not quite sage. It is I would say this is like a mint green for real. This is a mint green. If you go into the grocery store and you go where the fresh herbs are and you see the mint leaves, it's gonna be this color. And it may be a little darker, maybe slightly darker. So when they came, with all these years that I've been going in the stores and I see certain things and it's like a towards the green, and people used to say it's a mint green. It's not mint green. I don't know why they say it's mint green, because when I go buy mint leaf from the store, it's nowhere close to the mint green that we see in the store. So that's another subject. But this is another color. I don't know what to call this color. But this is actually a very pretty soft color that can be worn, and it's not bright, and it can be worn. When I'm trying to get it up there on the camera without taking off my background. This is a soft color that can be worn in warmer climates, a warmer green. Um, but this is more like a earthy green, and that's what it means by earthy green coat. And this is a little up close on that image, y'all. Okay. So anyway, um, that's that. So soft era styling, texture layering, and climate conscious choices. The soft era woman dresses for comfort and connection. Here's how to style this palette across climates. Now I don't know if I'm gonna read that part. It embrace layered knits in clay brown and plum red. We just talked about that. Add wool textures in earthy green and mustard yellow. Finish with soft accessories, pale pink gloves, sage scarves, dusty green beanies. Beanies, I don't know what a beanie is. Warmer climate, choose lightweight linens and squash orange and soft peach. Opt these colors that are beautiful for warmer climates. Even the chair and this background, you see how those two colors are paired together. You see how those colors blend right there and how it gives that beautiful, beautiful, soft woman era effect, vibe, whatever, word you want to use for that. Um, Warmer climates opt for flowy silhouettes, wrap dresses, wide leg pants, and breathable blouses, accessories with natural fibers, rattan bags, cotton head wraps, and bamboo jewelry. Now, that's for warmer clients. Warmer climates. Okay. Now, I am one of those people when it gets um, warm outside. I am a bamboo jewelry, rattan bag, and shoes. However you want to pronounce it, rattan or I say rattan. Okay, so we're gonna touch on a little bit on the black-owned brands for the soft era women. Okay, soft era woman. Uh, Support designers who embody softness, sustainability, and soul. So I researched a few of these ladies, and I'm gonna say this. I can't say much. I'm just gonna throw their name out there, and maybe you might see something different from what I've seen. Excuse me. I follow a lot of ladies online without actually following them, and the reason being is because I don't want them to think that I am trying to compete with them, because we are kind of doing the same thing. So I to avoid the drama and still see them, I just don't follow them, but I prefer to follow and give them the support. But always my support is always taken as, I'm trying to compete or compare. That is not true. So the brand, I'm going to call out a few people that I when I did some research, I saw these brands. I did not see much. I'm not going to touch on that subject. Like I said, if you're tired and you don't want to watch any of, click the watch later button that's um, on your profile, on your YouTube profile. If you don't know how, just type in the search on Google, and it'll tell you how to click the watch later button, and then you can come back and watch the rest if you're just interested. Because sometimes I listen to the content creators while I'm washing dishes or cooking, and I just listen. I don't actually always sit there and just watch them on the screen unless it's a quick video. But if it's a long video, I will go wash dishes and turn it up and put it on my little boom box thing, and turn it up while I'm cleaning up and listen to bits and pieces of it, right? So anyway, I'm going to get to this black owned brands for the soft era woman. This is what came up. Fee Noel. I did type in, that's what I wanted. I wanted some black owned brands and for women in the soft era, and Faye Noel soft peach silk robe. I don't know if that's something of the past, but I couldn't find it when I looked for it, because I was going to show y'all images of it. It says why it's perfect, feminine, fluid, and empowering. And then Brother Vellies, if I'm saying that right, mustard yellow boots, artisan crafted with heart. I searched for that also. I did not see it. Oma the label. I skipped that one last night. Oma the label. Sage gold accented jewelry. Minimalist with meaning. That's what it says. I didn't search for her. Somehow I missed that one. But then there's mine. MIE, dusty green linen set, climate conscious and effortlessly chic. Now I did look up a couple people, and I'm going to say the same thing I say and to myself. I'm not saying, not giving advice. I'm actually sharing the advice that I keep with myself. Just keep being strong and keep trying. Um, Try to think out of the box. Try not to stay in the box all the time. I know we want to stay in the trending. Okay, let me make something. This is what the ladies are wearing. Let me design something that looks something like that and see if they like it. Stop doing that. Try to come up with something original. Originality is the key. Try to come up with something. Now, you can use constructive criticism from a lot of people. And this is stuff that I tell myself. In anything that I do, try to think out of the box. Try to not, you look at others and you see, and you got to watch the trends. You got to watch what people are wearing. But I want you to step out of that box for one moment. Really more than one moment, but y'all get what I'm saying. Want you to step out of that box for one moment and decide, if you wasn't seeing what you're seeing everybody is wearing and trending, okay, what would I design? Okay, that would be wearable, that would be able to wear functionally. Okay, I know it costs a lot of money to do designs and put them out on the market. I've already researched. I did research on a big idea that I have, and it's gonna cost a lot of money. Just it's a big idea, but it's a little idea. It's gonna cost me some money to do it, and I don't just have a $500 to just kick out just like that for a very small project that I wanted to start. But that's another story. That's something I'm gonna keep up here until I can make some moves like that. But however, I'm just gonna give, just in case these ladies see, or word of mouth, step out of the box sometimes. Just step out of the box. And when you step out of the box, think to yourself, is this something that a person will reach in their closet before they go to work? To put it on to go to work. Is this something that they're gonna reach in their closet and girlfriends call, hey, we can ready to go somewhere and get dressed. We can ready to go to the festival outside, or we get ready to go to a tea gathering. Just think, you have to think how the average person thinks to sell these things, if you get what I'm saying. And I understand people say, all right, well, I'm a fashion model and I want this to stick up right here and I want that to stick up right there and I want this to be cut off right there. That is not functional, and it is not stuff that people are going to buy. Now, somebody famous coming offer you some thousands of dollars for your outfit. If that's what you're looking for, that's fine. Stay on that market if that's the path that you are on. But if you are looking for everyday people to buy your items, and they are quality items, you have to think out of the box. You have to be empathetic, and you have to think. I don't know if y'all watched that show, How to Get Away with Murder, and she tell the students, or they tell the students, put your mind in the thoughts. You have to think like the murderer. You have to think like the murderer. If you was going to murder somebody, what would be your actions and how would you move? You have to think like your customers. And that's all I'm gonna say about that, because I said a lot more than I wanted to say about that. But that's advice to me and to you, because I have some ideas, and hopefully as time progresses and I get through this mountain that I'm trying to knock out of my way, or climb, or whatever they want to call it, I can get to where I can start doing some little business moves of my own. But I still want to go to work. Soulful parents. Oh, okay. In the book, I did want to say in this live, a book a couple books that I wanted to say, but I don't know if this is the book that I actually wanted to say right here. Okay. Now this is, I don't think, because the book that I wanted to talk about, let me see, y'all, real quick. Let me click through the screen. So yeah, I really want, um, now the book that I was wanted to mention, and this, let me see if I added it here. So I had a couple books, and then I added a book, and what happened was, wait a minute, is that my book spotlight right there? Okay, there's The Girls Who Grew Big by Leila Motley. Okay, I found this book on mistake. I was searching for books to read. And The Girls Who Grew Big by Leila Motley. Leila Motley's upcoming novel, The Girl Who Grew Big, is a lyrical, defiant celebration of young motherhood, friendship, and resilience. Set in Padua Beach, Florida, the story follows Adela, Emery, and Simone, teen moms navigating the collision of girlhood and womanhood with prose that's raw and radiant. Motley paints a portrait of sisterhood forged in struggle and joy. These girls aren't broken, they're blooming, and their journey reminds us that growth often comes in unexpected forms. I am currently listening to it on audio, excuse me, on, yeah, I'm listening to it on audio, whatever your choice or preference of audio books. I can read very well, but I prefer to listen to it. It is very comforting to listen to it also, but I don't want ladies that likes to read to keep reading, because actually reading helps your vocabulary. It keeps you up to date, because if you're around kids all day and you're around children and you have little children, you start talking like them. You start forgetting what proper grammar is, and you find yourself saying something you wouldn't say because you're around kids all day. So reading is very good for the brain. It's food for the brain to actually read it. But right now I have a lot going on, so I'd rather listen to audio so I can make sure I pay attention to what I'm reading. So that is the book that I am bringing up right now. What else did I want to talk about? Downloader. Okay, so there is a way that I can I could possibly do that. Ready to a downloadable guide, but I don't think y'all know that. I need that. I think that's a duh. Um, Let this season be your sanctuary. Dress like poetry, move like water, lead like with light, and that is going to end. Hold on, y'all. I trust me. I saw Kiki Palmer and I read into that very well, but I do know that I was gonna put my own parts in of what I wanted to say, and I just didn't want it to be too short, and I didn't want it to be too long, and I ended up actually doing it twice, but mixing it up a little bit. I'm working from a laptop. And I keep saying I'm gonna get a desktop, but I'm not gonna get a desktop because I need to move. I'm so happy I didn't buy those things, but those colors in the background are featured colors. I am going to say a few more colors. The second part of this, as August wanes, this is autumn 2025, a season of soul, style, and sisterhood. As August wanes and the golden hush of autumn begins to whisper through the trees, we find ourselves on the cusp of transformation. This season isn't just about layering knits and sipping spice drinks. It's about embracing change, honoring our roots, and stepping into our fullness. Autumn 2025 invites us to do just that with a color palette that's as rich and complex as the woman who wears it. Autumn 2025 color trends, earthy elegance meets unexpected romance. Okay, if you are into romance, okay, our soft era ladies, we can be romancing ourselves, meaning romance, treating ourselves good with grace and soft power. Same analogy, same meaning. Excuse me, same logic. This year, fall fashion hues are a masterclass in balance, where grounded neutrals meet poetic cool tones. Designers are leaning into powder blue. Now, those were my colors, the first set. And then there's powder blue, a soft, ethereal shade that adds serenity to structured silhouettes. Rich plum and deep olive. Moody yet regal. These tones flatter melanin-rich skin and evoke quiet luxury. Golden beige and dusty pink. Warm, romantic, and versatile. Perfect for layering or accessorizing. Steel gray. Yeah, steel gray. And midnight navy. Sophisticated staples that anchor bolder hues. And when you say steel gray, I gotta look up steel gray. Spice, orange, and chocolate brown. Think pumpkin velvet and cocoa leather. Decadent, cozy, and timeless. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna add my little part to this. Those colors are also beautiful, but they give me a more bold vibe, per se. It gives me a more dominant, per se, if I'm making sense. The powder blue is really pretty. It's a soft blue. It's very soft blue. That's for a warmer climate in the autumn, because we're talking about autumn to come. I'm just giving y'all some ideas, okay? Rich plum and deep olive. Rich plum is a dark, deep purple, where you can barely even tell it's purple, or you can barely tell that it's a purple color. It's a very deep color. Deep olive, very dark green. It is darker than army green. No. I'm wrong. Deep olive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. Deep olive is like, excuse me, a green. A green. I don't want to say this. This is because I have some colors in front of me. I don't want to say it's like a. Well, y'all know. Y'all can look it up. Deep olive. The olive green. It's something. It could be something like this, like the sage, but the sage is gonna be a little bit faded, and the deep olive is gonna be a little bit darker, but still in this type of color. It may be like this one right here in the middle, because this one is more like sage, and if you really look at this one in the middle is a little darker, right? Okay, so that's more like a deep olive. Golden beige, let's say golden beige. We're going to say golden beige would be something like this here. Okay. Dusty pink, we still going to say this is the pink, but it's going to be, when we call dusty, we're going to say it's going to be like a grayish pink. It's going to be a lot softer than this. Okay. Steel gray. I don't have anything steel gray on here, so we're gonna pass that part. And we midnight navy, sophisticated staples and anchors, bolder hues, spiced orange. This is spiced orange. I'm pulled because that's a last year color. So this is what spiced orange is. Uh, Wait a minute, they got dust on them because I swear I bought them. I bought them on sale. I bought them on sale. I got a really good price. They say $39.99, but I didn't pay $39.99 for them. I paid $12.99 for them. I always get my stuff on sale. So these are this is what spiced orange. So look, the person, if I do have a stalker that come in here looking at the price of stuff, I did not pay $39.99 for this. I actually paid, I think about 12, the same prices I say paid for my sandals, my little transitioning from summer over to the fall flip flops. I paid $13.99. That's not the original price. I paid $13.99, and these I believe I might have paid $15 for these, but these are spiced orange. I don't know if y'all can see, but that is actually spiced orange. And I've had my baby sitting over there in the corner, getting all wet and messed up, sitting in this damp apartment. I gotta get out of here because stuff is messing up. Um, you know, yeah. And I've never worn these. And I actually paid like $15.99 for these. But that's spiced orange. And y'all see that wood brown? You see that brown with the dark and the brown in it. So that's pretty. But that's a pretty color. These are for a colder climate, I believe so. In a colder climate, spiced orange, chocolate brown. You see the shoe, and the shoe that is like a chocolate brown right there. So it's saying put these two colors together. Think pumpkin, velvet, and cocoa leather, decadent, cozy, and timeless. Those are those two colors together in that shoe. A deep plum, rich plum. I would say this would be a rich plum. I'm gonna show it to you in my shoes. This would be a rich plum color. And a deep olive. I don't have anything deep olive, but I do have something with a soft pink on it. And or you call it soft pink or a champagne gold. Which is another color that I picked, but I don't see it's on here. This is I don't know if y'all can see it, but that's another type of pink that I think is very, very sweet for hotter climates, warmer climates in the autumn and in the winter. And that is these colors right here. This is like this. You can say this a beige, but I think this is like some soft pinks. These are tones of pink, very cute. Those colors, and then it said steel gray and navy blue. Steel gray is like a dark. That's something like in these shoes a little bit. Like a steel gray, like the tip of that, if you can see that. But however, those are nice colors. Whether you're styling a monochromatic mocha ensemble or adding a pop of plum to your outerwear, this season's palette is about storytelling through texture and tone. Um, Autumn recipe. Oh, okay. And the recipe, I did ask to give me a autumn recipe, and I picked through several. I picked through some until I found one that I would actually eat. It is an acquired taste, and it's a pear and candied walnut salad with Honey-Balsamic dressing. You gotta have acquired taste for this, but it sounds so good to me, made my mouth water. Celebrate the harvest with this vibrant, soul-nourishing salad. Spring, it's the ingredients. I will put the ingredients down into the comments, and or if I find the recipe, I will put the link in the comments down below. And it sounds like a excellent. It has spinach, pear slices, candy walnuts with brown sugar and butter that you make yourself, and cranberries and shaved parmesan. Now I don't know about the parmesan part. I would have to kind of I don't know about that. But the balsamic vinegar, honey Dijon mustard, and the shallots, olive oil, salt, and pepper sounds really, really good. The drink of the season, starting of the season. When it first started getting cold, I picked out the Spice Apple Fizz, a cocktail that tastes like a crisp orchid breeze. Ingredients: pear brandy, hard apple cider, vodka, lemon juice, honey syrup, and garnish with cinnamon stick and apple slice. This drink is bright, cozy, and layered just for fall itself. This is for people that have a drink once in a while. This is for people that like to drink when they having a drink. I mean, hey, we are grown and it is legal. While supporting black-owned brands matter without bias, supporting black-owned businesses isn't about exclusion. It's about inclusion. It's a conscious choice to uplift creativity, craftsmanship, and culture that has historically been underrepresented. These brands bring fresh perspective, heritage-rich design, and community-centered values to the fashion world. By choosing to invest in them, we're not just buying products. We're affirming equity, visibility, and excellence. It's not about who you exclude. It's about who you intentionally include. Okay, so we talked about the book Spotlight. I already read that one. The Girls Who Grew Big by Leela. That's what I picked. Inspiration for Women. Before I go, first I'm gonna say my own words, and then I'm gonna leave with what I asked them to type here and put it in words for me. I want to say thank you for those few that are watching and have good intentions. And I want to say thank you to those that are following. And I don't know what's all going on in this internet world. And I am not profiting from this. I actually did this because it was something that I wanted to do. Because I love shopping. I am not into the high-end fashion. I am not a big fan. And that does not mean that I do not support high fashion people. I just want to say that I am not into high fashion brands. As some people say, I like brands that are effortlessly, easy to put together. I don't look at it as a challenge to compare or compete with any of the content creators. I already spoke on what content creators and influencers are, and I believe they lost track of that. That's my thoughts on the content creators and the influencers. I believe they lost track on what their goal was and their intentions from the beginning got sidetracked. So, however, and it may have gotten sidetracked because the money's not coming like they would like to, and me too. So, however, I didn't get sidetracked. It made me focus on a different picture and get out of a certain lane. Okay. I want to say to you all, I want everybody to understand, women, young ladies, if you see this, whatever your age is, I'm going to say, don't try to be somebody you're not to fit in. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. Your years will pass and you will look back and these people that you were entertaining because you wanted to be in, you don't want to be cast out, and you don't know another side or different people, and this is who you grew up around. Remember this: be you. Do not change how you feel here just so somebody else can see out something different out here. Okay? Because you're going to still be here, truthfully. You're hurting yourself. Don't be somebody you're not so you can be noticed. What will get you noticed? If you continue to be who you are at heart. You don't have to be a lesbian. You don't have to be straight. You don't have to be a person. You do not have to change how you really are or how you look to make others notice you. To get 500 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old little girl followers because you look cute, they want to be like you. But you want people to like you for you as a woman and as an adult. Because this is for 18 and over. This is not for children. Okay, that's all I have to say. Inspiration for women, grow bold, grow big. Now, I did ask them to give me a little poem, and I did read it, and I did say, okay, well, that's good for me. So I'm going to say, autumn is a season of shedding and becoming. Let it be a time when you release what no longer serves you and set into your power. Whether you're curating your wardrobe, building your brand, or simply learning to rest. Know this, you are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to be soft and strong. You are allowed to grow big. Let your style speak. Let your story shine. And let this autumn be your canvas. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. As soon as I learn how to end the movie, in the thing, push the button right there, hit the X, bop, 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 bop.